sure.
Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast. This is Christian.
This is Bobby.
This is Amanda.
We do not have Nick today, but I am an idiot. I'm incredibly unlucky today. I did the same thing I do every day. I took off my vest from work, threw it in my trunk, and then took off my hard hat and threw my hard hat in my trunk. Unfortunately, what happened this time is my hard hat hit my button for locking your car.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Because my car is, it has key detect. So it's pretty hard to lock your keys in your car. It won't let you unless you do some crazy 1 in 1,000 move like I did today.
Dude, that's pretty lucky.
Yeah.
It's pretty lucky shot. The Death Star comes down with something like that,
shot.
It kind of reminds me of this other guy who, what was he wearing? Oh, I used to work at a grocery store. So he had a smock. We had smocks. And so he was taking a dump and he went to go pick up his smock off of the bathroom floor. And his cell phone flew from his pocket into the toilet while it was flushing and just flushed it down the toilet. Yeah, this is when they were the flip phone Motorola, turd-sized, turd-sized phones before
Easily
we got into this.
Turd-sized phone,
Yeah.
Those were the good old days. I celebrated 30 years of life.
Who did?
Christian.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm 30
I didn't
years
even buy you
old.
anything. I'm going to send you a game or something.
Oh my God. No, please don't. Rianne surprised me. She organized a completely surprise to me birthday party called ChristianCon, where everyone showed up and dressed as different versions of me. Now, those that know me and have seen me in public know I probably have 3 or 4 outfits that I like, so everyone was kind of following the theme. Lots of striped shirts, which of course is one of my favorite pieces of clothing, and she organized hot ones. We made our own boats. We raced $10 budgeted boats down the river, and we played Taskmaster, which is a British show I'm not going to explain, but if you haven't seen it, go watch it. And
How'd you do on the hot ones?
Oh, didn't even faze me. There's a video. There's a video, and she's like, "You don't even." He was
gargling him. That's what he was doing. He was gargling hot sauce.
No, I was gurgling. No, gargling because I would be dying. No, it didn't faze me. I can handle my heat.
Okay, dude.
Handle the heat.
Maybe they weren't prepared properly. Those are some hot sauces.
Yeah, maybe they weren't. But I did, the last dab, I put a little bit on. My friend beside me, he was sweating, and he's Colombian, so I thought I was, I wasn't up against a bunch of people who can't handle the heat. Anyways, enough of that. They were very fun games. What was my point with this? I had a segue.
It was a fun ChristianCon, but I mean, there's another con coming up. You can segue into that, talking about that. Yeah, we got DLG Con coming up in about a month. Countdown begins. It's going to be awesome and exciting. We have a full house.
Yeah, we're sold out again. So thanks to everybody who stepped up.
Yeah, we're sold out and it's pretty awesome. But if you're local or if you're in the area and you want to stop by and shit, hit us up because there's definitely plenty of people that can come stop by and see everyone and hang out and stuff. So that'll be really cool. For those that are listening that are going to be part of DLG Con, keep an eye open on that DLG Con attendees channel that we have in Discord. Right now, I am doing a poll where we're going to have a meeting and game night with everyone before we show up at the house. Those are usually really fun and really great, and especially the first year when we all didn't know each other. Yeah. Most of us didn't know each other. It was really wonderful, and it's a good time. We haven't had a game night in quite a while as well, so I just think that would be really cool, but it's only going to be open for the people that are going to DLG Con. So if you are going, please check that post and vote because that's the day that we're going to pick based on the highest numbers of votes. Right now, it's looking like October 13th, Friday the 13th, and I really am here for that fucking awesome spoopiness. Maybe we can turn it into a semi spoopy game night, but we'll see. I don't know. Maybe play some Friday the 13th as one of the game night games.
Also,
don't
Friday
do
the
well with
13th,
spoopy
that is the deadline. I think it's the deadline for our voting on our new what do you call it? Sticker logo color thing. So that's the same day.
Unanimously loved, by the way, by everyone.
Got shot down so hard.
Not contentious.
Everybody
not
talks so
contentious.
much shit. We're going to modify it still, but we're trying to land on the colors before we print them out. And we'll probably be giving away those stickers. Well, everybody who deserves them from being a patron for 78 years and waiting for your stickers. And then, we'll probably have some for you at DLGCon as well. So that will be fun. You can put an ugly sticker on your computer. Yeah, I hate to fucking bring it up, but I feel like I gotta bring it up. Fucking Israel and Palestine are at it again, and it looks bad again.
What?
And I don't know. I was looking at it today. I feel bad for all the innocents that are cut up. It feels a little different than the Russian and like Ukraine thing, which happens in fields for the most time. This is just like a neighborhood fighting a neighborhood, man, and it's bad. Yeah, it sucks. Knock it off, you guys, please.
Wow.
All right, video games.
Yeah,
where we at?
say let's lead from that to this is
Somebody have a
video
war game? No.
podcast.
Oh my god, dude. Games that have caught our attention on the radar. Bobby is starting us off.
Yep, starting it off with Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core. So I'm pretty sure some people posted about this in Discord. I have not been on Discord recently. I've been kind of absent this week, but hopefully this is going to be my last busy week. I certainly hope so, because I really want to play some Void Crew.
Like
Anyway.
of all time? Sorry to interrupt. Your last busy week and then like before death? Like
No, I'm finishing up like my last side job that I had lined up, and then
so you will have busy weeks in the future.
Yeah, it's the side jobs impose on my free time. So if I'm busy at work, it's like whatever, like that eventually stops at a certain point in the day sometimes. But I'm not taking any classes this semester, but I've just been overloaded with work on the side. So that's why I've been kind of absent. But Deep Rock
Is the juice not worth the squeeze anymore, Bobby?
No, not for this particular client.
Gotcha. Hey, $20 is $20 now.
I can be a little more selective about my work now.
Good, man.
So Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core is yet another Deep Rock Galactic game that is coming out, and it is being developed by Ghost Ship Games, so the original developers of Deep Rock Galactic. This is a roguelike that is... There's a pretty good amount of detail. So they've got a roadmap up that outlines everything that they've been working on and are going to continue working on, although they do say that it could change, or as they put it, it's not set in stone or rock, which I thought was a fun pun. They get so much mileage out of that rock and stone pun, I swear. But it's a 1 to 4 player co-op. It is a first person shooter, and it is a roguelite. So it seems like they're not changing. They're going to be using a lot of the game that they already have, but they're just kind of changing the game mode. It's going to be similar to the original in so many ways. Like the graphics look identical. It's got destructible environments. The weapons and abilities, I assume, are going to be the same. It looks like that's the case, but I'm sure there's going to be some variants. So like, for example, you start just with like a pistol and a pickaxe. You don't have a class, but as the missions go on, you eventually... You get more items and you develop your class. There's going to be a 5-stage dive plus a boss at the end. So the idea of a boss fight sounds really exciting to me. And they say those are going to last 5 minutes each. There's a ton more details in the roadmap if you're interested, but I am super excited because I feel like, I've got over 800 hours in Deep Rock Galactic, and it kind of feels stale. I keep going back to it, but when you put that much time into a game, you're going to be ready for something new. And I really feel like they kind of missed the ball with the deep dive, this mode. It was one of their first big additions to the game, I want to say. The deep dive is where you do like 3 missions in a row, and all your materials that you gather carry over to each mission. So you have to be careful how you use them, and they get increasingly difficult. It was kind of a good idea, but it came out when they did all the blank matrix cores and everything. So it was a way to get those, but I don't know. Nobody ever plays those anymore. I haven't done one in years. Like, it's just kind of a dead part of the game. And I felt like they could have done so much more than that. That could have been an opportunity to really like introduce a different kind of game mode. You know, I think just last week we were talking about maybe PvP in this, but
what
I feel like
specifically about this will excite you or like breathe new life into the game?
Just something different, I think,
Like-
right, Holly?
But is it just the basic game and with a roguelike mechanic? Like, what's the...
No, I think
Yeah,
it's
I don't-
different, right, Bobby? Different
Well,
missions.
I don't know what the objectives are. So I don't think you have to go out and gather materials, although that's probably going to be like a side objective so you can purchase stuff maybe. I don't know. But it sounds like it's going to be more along the lines of wave survival. That's my guess, but I don't know. And then the boss fight sounds cool. So maybe more focused on the combat. And of course, I love co-op games. And it just, I don't know, should be pretty exciting. But we've got a long time to go. I mean, it's early access is going to be November 2024. So we've got like almost exactly a year until we're going to see this game.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess we're gonna get a little more lore than we've had. I think a lot of the lore is kind of like guessed at, you know. And I think, you know, if you have missions, like set missions, usually you get a little more story out of them. But we'll see. A lot of questions. I wonder they could even switch up the classes, dude. Imagine they could possibly have different classes.
Yeah, or combine them somehow. I mean, I'm sure they'll have the same movement abilities, you know, like drilling and zip lines and all that.
Maybe you're supposed to go from gurgling to gargling.
So you're referencing jokes that were made before the show. Nobody.
we did.
I know, but it puts everybody in a good mood.
Yeah, it does. Yes, Your Grace, Snowfall. So I'm going to talk about Yes, Your Grace, the first game, which I finished later in the show. And this is the sequel. Once you hear about me talk about Yes, Your Grace, I feel like if you're into point-and-click adventures and narrative stories, you might want to add this one to your wish list. It's got a beautiful kind of 2.5D pixel art style to it. There's no expression on anyone's face. It's all about kind of the movement of the body and what's happening in the scene. But they've definitely increased the graphics since the base game. And the premise of this game is really simple. You're basically a king that sits on a throne, and different petitioners come from all over the kingdom, and they ask you for things, and they relay stories to you. And there's a grand narrative in the behind scenes happening. In the first game, there's a murder of a nearby king, and you kind of have to figure that out. I don't want to spoil too much, but you're dealing with these petitioners, and because of distance, they'll be like, my town got burned to the ground. We need all this gold to rebuild it. And you'll give them that money, thinking that you're going to get a return on that investment because everyone pays taxes and everything. And then you'll find out later that that's just some scammer going around from king to king, and it's not a true story at all. So you're kind of picking up on the dialogue, and you're trying to separate, okay, who's telling the truth, who isn't telling the truth, and how much resources can I actually spend on everyone's problems. And you're also managing kind of the dynamics of your family. Your wife wants to buy a dress. Your daughters don't want to get married because you have to make like these alliances with other kingdoms. It's pretty simple, but also in depth. And there's a bit of a point and click adventure to it too, as you kind of uncover mysteries around the castle, click on things, see what they do, see if anything has changed. A really neat game. The release date for this one is to be announced, and it's developed by Brave at Night as well as the first one. So I'm super excited for it.
There's definitely different levels of pixel art. You can say pixel art, and it can mean a lot of things. I would definitely put this in S tier.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Pixel art. I mean, I don't think it gets much better than that. It's like pixel art that's also shaded, so it adds a lot more depth. It's very, very beautiful.
Yep, the lighting of the different scenes. But we'll talk about more Yes, Your Grace later. Planet vs. Earth Humanity, Amanda?
Yeah. So speaking about the different game nights and things like that, I really feel like this has the potential of being an incredible game night kind of game. That's interesting. Because the way that it works is that it works very much like Jackbox and a lot of the party games, which is that it's not necessarily a PC game. You load it up on the PC and it does all the cutscenes and it does all the like explaining and stuff on the computer screen, but most of the game is actually played through your phone. Like I said, just like Jackbox games. So there is a demo for it right now. It is a little on the steep price, I would argue, being $25 normally. So I feel like it would be good for a sale or something. But it so far has very positive reviews. There's only 54 people that put these reviews in, though, and it's 87% positive. So some of the negatives seem to be, from what I was reading, that they have basically like pandered to a lot of influencers to show things that haven't been released yet. And so a lot of people felt that that was really shady and like shitty and stuff. But I also read that quite a few devs have responded to those negative reviews saying that they are finalizing things and going to be releasing a new update in like a week or two that has all of that stuff and releasing it to everyone. They just kind of wanted to like amp the hype up a little bit. So that's kind of, I think, where some of the negative reviews are going. But otherwise, majority of these are like super, super positive, and people are loving this. So what is it, right? It's a game where it's a 1v5 kind of game. You could be Earth, and if you're Earth, the whole point is you are going to try and do things that are going to kill all the humans on Earth. So you might initiate a virus or launch an asteroid at the planet, or create like all kinds of issues and stuff to make them fight each other, right? If you're one of the five, then you could be either a world leader where you're going to be adapting laws and regulations. You could be industry where you're handling the economy. You could be a scientist where you are trying to do research and discover solutions to any of the issues for humanity. You can be media, or you could be the public. And so the five people are all working together to kind of combat and fight the Earth so that way they can survive while whichever player is Earth is trying to take out all of them. And
So
so,
interesting.
yeah, right? And so, like, there's all
Yeah.
these different kind of narratives, and like, no two games play the same. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of disasters and famine and all kinds of things that are based off of real world parallels and shit like that. And so, you really are there can only be one winner as well. And so, yeah, you could either be on the side of humanity or you could be the planet itself. And so I just thought that this was such a cool game. I'm very interested in this. I'd love to at least try to play the demo. And the nice thing, at least, about this game is that even though it is $25, one person buys it, everybody can play it for free. So that's what's
Nice.
cool as well. And that's similar to the Jackbox games. And so
Yeah.
I do like that model a lot for a party game. I think that that's kind of the best. I think that that's a great way to do it. And especially with the phones can be fun too. I guess there is like an entire spectator kind of moment. And a lot of people talked about how actually streaming this game was super fun because random people like from the chat could join in and like influence and have this impact on like humanity's decisions, which was like really cool.
That's
I think.
awesome. I would
Yeah,
love to
so
play
this
this at
seems
DLG Con. I don't think 25
that's
bucks is too expensive. The Jackbox games sometimes go for 32 or 35 bucks. It feels like so much.
true. But
Well,
the
that's a
thing
bundle of
is that
games.
Jackbox
That's
games
true.
usually are multiple games as one.
Yeah.
So you might
Yeah.
be paying $20 to $30, but you are getting 5 games, whereas this is just literally one game. But I agree with you. I think that this actually would be, and I think in like our position as DLG, this is a fantastic game for that because yeah, like all the people joining to play would be playing for free. So it's really just you buy it once and the whole community will benefit off of it. So yeah, like I definitely like this game a lot, and I keep going back and forth on buying it, but I'm probably gonna buy it. And like I would love to play this at DLG Con, but I'd like to play it before then actually.
I've got to
So
imagine it's got to be a lot more long form than Jackbox games.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, I think
Jackbox
this would
games
be a
are like
longer
what,
sitting.
7 minutes long or something, and this has got to be an hour at least. But that's not a bad thing for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Uh,
think this is super cool.
Actually, I feel like that whole technology is underutilized. That whole people on their cell phone inputting, it could be used for so many things. So
Absolutely.
hopefully, I wish the best for these guys. Let's support them.
Like outside
Same.
of gaming, it could be used for a lot of things there.
No, I was thinking gaming, but like
Okay.
other things than just that. I remember there's a VR game that we took to DLG Con one where you're like the VR person is a giant, and then the
Yeah,
other
that one
people
was
are like
awesome. Yeah,
little gnomes that are trying to
yeah,
hide around the kitchen and stuff. And
yeah,
and you do it on your phone, and he's trying to catch him. I thought what a great concept.
yeah. All right, Forza, what's going on? Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom, yeah, man. So Forza, I'm more of a Horizon guy because I like the arcadiness because I'm not very good. But this is the more Gran Turismo esque version of Forza. It looks fucking photorealistic. You know, it's always the racing games that are like the ones that really push everything. Is like is it next gen, is it not? A lot of times the car games are the ones that you're like, oh, I haven't seen anything like that. This is it looks very nice. Other than that, you know, it's more of the hardcore racing type. I think there's some F1 cars in there, but you know, a lot less forgiveness than the Horizon um, version of this. It's been a while since they came out with the Motorsport one, so much so that they just I forgot it. I think they were just called Forza before, and then this Horizon series came out, and now so they have to differentiate it. So they started it with Motorsport, but I think it's been quite a while, like 5-6 years. Of course, this is a Xbox Game Studio, so it'll be on Xbox Game Pass day one. Again, one more time, like it's not really my thing, but you know, things are shiny and it's free. Why not? So I'll pick it up. I'll be talking about it on the podcast. Probably won't stick with it, but maybe I will. I mean, there was a time in my
knows?
life where I would race 160 lap things on Gran Turismo. So
Are you into Forza, the sport in real life? Do you follow it or?
no, the only thing that I'm into a little like laterally is F1, and that's because of the Netflix show.
Okay.
Got way into F1 from the Netflix show. I think anybody can appreciate that show. It's got drama, it's got action, it's got it all.
That's what I was told at a party. These two people came up to me and they're like, have you seen the F1 show on Netflix? I was like, whoa. That's like the conversation opener. It's like, it's so good. You have to watch
It's
it.
so good. There's only 20 people. There's only 20 drivers in the world at F1 any one time, and they can all take each other's jobs at any one time. Basically, they have contracts, but you can fucking sometimes they're so valuable, these drivers, that sometimes it's worth just paying the fucking penalty or whatever. So there's so much drama, and then it's super high intensity because you lose a few races in a row when you're not supposed to, and next thing you know, they're looking at the new kid that just came up, and yeah, and then on top of that, fucking crashes and people go out. It's a lot of drama. Yeah.
I'm sold again. I was sold at the party and you resold me. One day I will watch this documentary.
Watch it with your girl, man. Sam watches it with me, you know.
It's all the
cool.
drama.
All the
Yeah.
drama. I've been watching Love is Blind, actually.
Oh yeah, I can't believe we haven't talked about it. Bobby, are you up to date?
Can we not?
Sorry, Amanda.
They released a couple of episodes a while ago, right? Like
Well,
after
new
the
ones
fact.
dropped last night. There's been two
okay.
new drops. Yeah.
No,
I
have
haven't
not
watched those. But yeah, I watched the first drop, like the first two and the second two, or whatever it is. I'm up to date up until yesterday. And yeah, wow, crazy. Are you caught up, Chris?
No, not from. You said new episodes dropped yesterday. I'm not caught up on.
Yeah,
on
I haven't watched those either. But man, Bobby, catch up, man.
Yeah, we gotta talk
it's
about
crazy.
this.
It might be the best pod. You know, the pods is when they can't see each other and they're trying to fall in love or whatever. It might be the best pod part of the thing ever, just because some like drama comes up.
Yeah, usually that's the boring
Drama.
part.
Yeah.
Oh, Bobby. All right, highlights. Games we have been playing. Bobby, you've been playing.
Yep, more Deep Rock. Sorry.
It's kind of weird, Bob. Like, it's like deep rock.
Yeah, I know.
Are you gonna get that board game, dude? I was gonna buy it for DLG Con, and then I saw that it was like only backers got it or something like that. It's not like readily available.
I think somebody posted in the Discord a way to get it, but I'd have to look closer at that. But yeah, I don't know. It's so rare that we're able to use the tabletop games. I never really had any plans to buy it. But Deep Rock Galactic Survivors. So this is the beta that is out right now on Steam. This game is still going to be released in 2023, so pretty soon. And it feels like the game is ready to go. This is the Vampire Survivors clone. It is not made by Ghost Ship Games, the original developers of Deep Rock Galactic. It's made by somebody else, but they've done a pretty good job here. There's surprisingly a lot of content in the demo. I spent quite a few hours playing it, and it's really good. I know I said Soulstone Survivors was my favorite Vampire Survivors. This one might be, but we probably need an objective opinion here because, of course, I'm biased. There's way more of an emphasis on strategy in this one. All the other Vampire Survivors game, you're just running around, and it's all about positioning. You get the upgrades, so you figure out these cool combos, but you're just trying to run around a big open area and kill as many people as you can. But in this one, you have more stuff to do. You have to complete objectives, collect resources. It's so weird how it mirrors the original game in so many ways. You have to collect these resources, and some of them you need to collect so you can spend on upgrades outside of the game because there is permanent progression. So you can upgrade your character. And it's not just a big open map either. So this one's got walls and you have to pickaxe your way through them. And it actually works really well for escaping hordes of enemies. You can just tunnel through an area and give yourself a way out in situations when you get cornered. So it feels a little more interactive than most of these Vampire Survivor games. Visually, like everything with the UI looks exactly like Deep Rock Galactic. Even the graphics themselves, it really does look like DRG, but just from a different perspective, from that top-down perspective. And I feel like they've just done a really good job. A lot of these Vampire Survivor games I've played, it's not really clear where the synergies are. You can feel it when you're playing, but when you look at the stats page, it doesn't really make much sense. Or when you're offered an upgrade, it doesn't tell you, well, what is this actually going to affect? And is this what I'm stacking? There's a lot more complexity to it. You get different guns, and then you can upgrade those guns in different ways. They can do certain types of damage, and you can change that. You can get overclocks. So when you're offered an upgrade, it will show you directly, like it will affect these two guns right here. And you can check the stats on them to see if it's going to be valuable. It's really good. I would definitely recommend this. I have no idea how much it's going to cost, but I feel like I need, Emilio, you got to play this so you can tell me if it actually is good or if I'm just, if I'm just biased because of Deep Rock Galactic.
I mean, first of all, kudos to Deep Rock and Ghost Ship Games to get to a point that you're licensing your IP out. That's pretty cool. You know, a couple of extra shekels. Maybe that's what's funding their whole new project they have over there. But yeah, I will definitely play this. It's crazy that you got hours out of the demo. So that's a pretty in-depth demo.
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
I can see how they have the game set up. Like you're supposed to progress through these different hazard levels and then different biomes as well. And in the demo, there's actually access to quite a bit of the content, but you can only play the scout and then one of the scout's subclasses. But yeah, I'm glad to see Ghost Ship Games doing all this because they made Deep Rock Galactic. It was this huge success and everybody was immediately like, what's next? You know, what are you doing? And they said for the longest time, we're just going to focus on Deep Rock Galactic. They came out with the season pass, and they just continued to develop that game. And as great as it is, I just kind of feel like it's reached a dead end. Like, I don't know what else they can really do with it. All the season passes are great, but it's basically just all cosmetics at this point. They throw in a few new enemies from time to time, and that shakes things up. But
we need lady dwarves.
Yeah. That's a request they've had from day one, but yeah. No lady dwarves. But I'm glad to see them doing new stuff.
They put that roller coaster mode in, didn't they? Wasn't that like a complete change or?
Yeah, they put in 2 new maps. Yeah, they've done a lot. They put in more levels, they put in more biomes, they put in more weapons, and they put in more enemies. They've done all that, but it's just like the only thing they can do now is just stuff they've already done. They can just do more of. Like, I would I would be hard pressed to come up with another mission type for Deep Rock Galactic. Like, I don't even know what that would look like.
Christian, after 800 hours at Disneyland, no matter how many new rides they put in, it's still Disneyland. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can't wait. You know, we're all relatively young. We might be living in an age where we live to see the Deep Rock Galactic movie on the big screen, you know? Like, dude, come
Directed
on.
by Mr.
Hopefully
Hershey.
Amazon Prime does not pick it up though.
I don't
Somebody
know. Might be a
good, take
TV
it.
show. I see like an animated TV show on Netflix or something.
That'd be cool.
That's still pretty cool, but yeah, not the same. Oh, not on this. Sorry, but the Cyberpunk live action stuff. Did anyone pick that up? Anyone excited to see that?
Like based on, I haven't even heard of it. Is based on the Cyberpunk from TD
I don't
Projekt
even know
Red.
if, I don't even know if I should talk too much about it because I just saw it in passing on Twitter the other day. But I think they have that live action thing planned. So I don't know.
I want
Should be
to
cool.
I want to coin a term for something I just thought about. Like, so we have a game, and you always have your like main game that you play. Like the days, I think yours is probably Baldur's Gate right now. Bobby, yours is
Absolutely.
I don't know, like some typing game. Christian, your game right now is probably this King thing. Like your main game, the one that you always return, the one you're trying to progress through the most.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, like bottom bitch sounds like that's a little hard. You know, work on it here. We're gonna work through this. By the end of the episode, we'll have something for your like main game. Anyway, my main game is Cyberpunk right now, and yeah, so I'm all down for any other additional content, dude. That get
Okay.
Bobby, you got to go back after the 2.0, dude.
I'd need to start from the beginning, but
Yeah, I turn up
You
the
have to.
difficulty too. I'm playing on
they-
hard, and I'm having no problems.
I think they straight up say your save will like be fucked. Like you have to.
Well, I loaded
restart.
a couple of months ago. I loaded into the game. I don't know if it's changed since this last patch, but a couple of months ago, I loaded in and all my talents were reset and everything was different. But it was still like I still had my progress. But I have no idea what's going on in my game, so I would just need to start from the beginning. Plus, I'd want to experience it from the ground up.
And Phantom Liberty is something that's the DLC. It's something you can pick up after you beat the game, or it's missions that you can pick up during the regular game. So, like, even if you haven't beat it, you can pick it up like I did, and it'll be intermixed with everything else. Although I don't know if you're I don't know the difference. Maybe they'll be highlighted somehow. I believe in The Witcher they let you know which ones are DLC content and which ones are not. Amanda, I'm going to give you one guess what kind of guy I made in my game.
I feel like it would have been a brawler. Like you're certainly
Big man,
yeah,
big stick.
big man, big punch, big stick,
Yeah.
big dumb. Rolls
Yeah.
really low on intelligence, but fucking kills it. Nat
Yeah.
20s all around on the strength. Yep.
Yeah. You can't really min-max not off from the beginning because they limit you. You kind of max out 2 stats. So I had to go with what is it? I felt like since you're playing Cyberpunk, you have to go into the hacking. You just have to only to like see the coolest things in the game. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of the gameplay mechanics are around the hacking. But anyway, I'm fucking blown away by that game right now. Where we at?
Where are you? Chicory? Is that how I say
Oh yeah,
this?
Chicory, a colorful tale. So I have this on Xbox Game Pass. It's been sitting there for months and months and months, and I got it specifically for Mila, and she's on break right now. So I was like, "Hey, do you want to go play this game?" And she's like, "Yeah." You know, she's always looking for something new. So I was like, "Here's a controller. Like, good luck." I mean, I was in the room. I was going to help her through it, but then it says co-op or not, and I was like, oh shit, it's I had no idea it was co-op. And it's one of these things where it's a 2D adventure game where you just go from screen to screen, and it's black and white, and the whole story arc has to do with the person who is in charge of coloring the world, and how the transfer of that power went from one person to another. And so everything is black and white, it's all fucked, and it's time to get to painting. And so coloring is not the primary thing that you're supposed to be doing, but it's adjacent. So like there's a lot of just jumping puzzles. You color the plants that you want to activate. There's things that glow in the dark. You have to paint them but while you're there, it's funny because we're playing co-op. The way it works, by the way, I was on keyboard, she was on controller. I was controlling the main character, and I had a paintbrush, which is a free flow, kind of like a mouse. You can go anywhere you want. And she was on controller. She had her own mouse, so we can color twice as fast, basically. And it worked out really well because I made her do the puzzle parts. Just like, hey, can you activate these plants for me? And while I walked around, and then if we had to do some coloring, we would just color at the same time. And she's like, how can you color so fast? And I was like, PC gave me master race, bitch. That's what I was. It's way better than controller, man. The mouse. I didn't say it like that, but yeah. It's a cool little cute story. You're unlocking like little outfits the whole time, and a lot of the times you're like, oh, it's just cosmetic. You make your character look different, but then there's characters that like. It's so funny. You're trying to please everybody in this game. There's a person in the coffee shop, and he's like, I think you'd look a lot better in a peak coat and a daisy hat. And you're like, I guess I'll put on my peak coat and a daisy hat, and then all of a sudden they unlocks this other thing. I just thought it was funny that like you're changing your clothes for random people. Other than that, yeah, it was a cool little game. We're having a good time. I'm starting to feel my age, guys. The 11-year-old was, I mean, not the whole time, but figuring out more puzzles than I would have liked her to that I couldn't do, like she was just seeing it faster, and I'm like, she's like, no, Poppy, we got to go this way. And I was like, God damn it. Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. So it's funny. But I'm glad that it's in there. So if you have a little kid, it's a great way to play that or not. It's just a good game. It's 10 out of 10 on Steam. And it's free on Xbox. So there you go. If you look at pictures of it, like a lot of times you'll see black and white, but it is not. You get a color palette of 4 colors, and it's what an interesting way to add depth into a game, because you'll get to a certain area and they'll give you 4 different colors, and you'll be like, ooh, new feeling. Really, it doesn't affect anything, but just the new colors are cool. Yeah. Amanda, you played it too. You liked it?
Yeah, I thought it was really awesome. And we kind of touched a little bit about it earlier, but I'll bring it back up again. And I've always been a huge fan of games that really utilize, I would call it kind of like the negative or the anti space of something. So like for this game, I would classify that as the fact that they use color in a way that is pretty important to the gameplay and the story. And so I just think that that's really cool because certain things are intentional or colored, or certain things that you need to color. Like there is a important decision that comes to making that, I think, as a developer. And I find that to be really fascinating and really cool and have some depth to it. It would be like a game that has no sound except for certain moments, and then that makes you go, okay, but why did they put sound there then? You know what I mean? So that's the kind of stuff that I really do enjoy, because I think it's making games on kind of like a deeper level in a way, and it's much more of a deeper thought when you're looking at things like that. And so I just really kind of appreciate it and love that this game plays with color like that. So much of the game is in black and white and gray, and you're supposed to be bringing color to it, and like the things that you can color, the things that they already had colored, like that's really fascinating to me. So yeah, I thought this game was really cool with that.
It's funny because a lot of games will just hang their hat on one really interesting mechanic, like coloring the world, right? And be like, oh, we're gonna have it cut, but then to integrate that huge mechanic into the story, I think that's a double banger. Like if you have one thing that you're pushing, and that's going to differentiate you, write that into the story. Why not? Like, and make the whole thing come together.
That's one of the reasons why
Chicory
Hades
did.
was so good too.
The 80s?
No,
the
Hades.
decade?
Yeah, the whole decade. Yeah.
Oh, Hades.
They worked it right in. They worked everything right in. The fucking I can't name one thing from the 80s. I don't know. It's so
what was the mechanic in Hades that you are...
Well, like
they did everything right in that.
The rogue, they did everything right, but the roguelike fits into he gets reborn every day.
Right.
He's going back to hell, and it all makes sense. And you're trying to escape hell, and
not to Bobby. None of it makes sense to Bobby, but
didn't take with me.
Yeah.
What? I didn't like Hades. How do I not know this?
Oh, you just must have forgot.
Yeah, I forget a lot of things. That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I like the 80s, so maybe you got confused. But,
what do you like about the 80s the most?
I mean, I was
Name
born in the
top
80s,
five.
so that's
top
one
five
good
things.
thing that came from the
top
80s.
Five. Oh, okay.
Top five.
Well, top five good
Bobby.
things from the 80s. Let's go. Yeah,
Okay,
Bobby.
myself.
Number one.
Number one, me.
I think
Number
MTV
two?
would agree.
Number two, still me. And
Okay.
I don't know,
3 through
man. They're just
5?
all going to be movies. They're going to be movies and music.
Bobby,
I-
I
Nobody
have
wants
two.
to hear that. You know what? Before we move on, though, what's the update on the chair, Emilio?
This is the first time I've sat on it since that podcast, dude. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I can't say much. I don't want to return it because I like 90% of it, except for my butt. Like the butt. It's probably because I'm fucking heavy as shit. Probably, and I'm a long back bitch. Like I have a lot of weight up top. So I'm gonna get a butt pad and put it there, and it'll solve everything. Plus, I don't want to take it apart to return it and stuff. I like everything else about it. Rollerblade wheels, dude.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Well, we should explain for people who don't know, and the two people.
Rollerblade wheels.
Yeah, Emilio got a new chair last week, and it's got rollerblade wheels, and it slides around his floor, and apparently wasn't too comfortable after sitting through it the whole podcast.
Yeah, I like gave it this rave review. I was like, hey,
at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, and then by the end of the show, I was like, my tailbone is in shambles. Yeah.
Oh no. That's the most
Yeah.
important part of the chair. You like 90% of the chair that doesn't matter, and the 10% that
Well,
does
what kind of
matter.
chair does Nick have? Because you guys have kind of the same physique.
It's a long back bitch.
LBBs.
LBBs.
I don't know. I've never asked him. I try not to. I try to take as little advice from him as possible.
Baldur's Gate 3. We're back on it. Or maybe you guys have been on it the whole time I've been gone.
It's-
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm back on it. I got a specific kind of little story to talk about it. For starters, I have finally made it to Act 2. You probably thought I was gonna say beat the game. Fuck no. Nope, I'm playing this game for forever. But I finally made it to Act 2, which was cool. And if you don't want to hear a spoiler, then I don't know, skip ahead 2 minutes maybe. Or skip ahead then. But I learned that it is important that you don't fuck with a god. Because we interacted, it was me, Tagloro, and Lotion, and we used Gale as our fourth, and we interacted with the Githyanki god. And I'm so happy that we saved before, because Tag tried reading the god's thoughts, and for the first time ever, which Tag has played a lot of the game, and so has Lotion, they both have played a lot, and I think Tag has beat it, and never once did he ever get a game over pop up or anything like that, and never once did he lose the game, right? Well, you'll lose the game if you fuck with a god.
That's funny.
Wow.
It's just
So
over
he
instantly?
Well, he selected try to detect thoughts, and the god I think said something like "you insolent fools," and then we all fucking died. Like, and it
Wow.
just went
Amazing.
game
That's
over. The entire party has been defeated, and we were all of us literally sat there in silence and in shock. Like I was like,
That's
did
crazy.
we just lose the fucking game? Like,
That's awesome.
it's so insane. So yeah, don't mess with gods. Apparently, is definitely the theme of that, which is exactly why we're probably gonna double cross her. So that'll be good.
So obviously, your save was intact. So
Yeah.
when you went back to her, you just acted different. You minded
Yeah,
your
we
manners.
definitely acted different.
I've learned
and
my lesson.
Tag was like, well, you can take control of the conversation. And I was like, ooh, I see that I have really high dexterity because I'm a rogue, and that gives me a lot of like buffs and shit to deception. And I had a deception option, and I was like, oh, should I try and deceive her? And Tag's like, no, don't even try. You just saw what we just did. Like, nope. He's like, don't fuck with her. And I was like, all right. So
Dude,
yeah, we're
That would
going
be
through
a
that.
perfect. And listen up, Larian. This is how you make a game.
Yeah.
No, but that would have been a perfect time for a Psycho Manus type fourth wall breaking thing. What if she was able to detect that she killed you once and mentioned it? Like,
That would be
doesn't
awesome.
matter what timeline you would,
Yeah.
Oh,
that would be sick.
epic. Yeah.
Listen up,
Oh my God.
Larian.
You really hold up. You really want to sit
Take this
here
down.
and be telling Larian that they're not doing good enough? Really? Like,
Well, they can always do better. They can always do better.
That's true.
Listen,
That's true. There's always room for improvement, but I mean, they shelled out a pretty fucking incredible game.
I picked up a book called Writing for Dummies. I'm just saying it's going to help you guys get to the next level.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's you increasing your intelligence, right? You do a good intelligence roll with that one. I don't know if I ever told the story of how Lotion's character became like the biggest dummy in our party, because there was a I don't want to spoil too much either. It is tough, like trying to not do spoilers but then talk about all the cool shit that happened in it. Anyway, there was this option that we had to go inside of this machine, and it was supposed to remove the tadpole that is in your brain. And so Lotion was like, I'll do it. And he goes in, and it just does a permanent -2 intelligence debuff. But like, that's it. Like, there's no fucking benefit to doing it. Like, it's just literally like, you're dumb, here's a debuff. and we were like, Lotion, do you want us to, like, we can reload and not do that? And he's like, nah, it's fine. No, we can keep it. And so now the running joke is now the running joke is he went from like an 8 intelligence to a 6 intelligence, and we crack jokes that he's a big, beautiful barbarian, but he can't tie his shoes because it's too difficult to think. And then whenever we give him shit about his intelligence, we're like, hey, we just want to remind you, you chose to stay this dumb. Like, you chose.
Is he not playing an archer?
No, he's playing in that save. So see, like, both Tag and Lotion and myself, like, we have multiple campaigns going on, right?
That's so
and
awesome.
So in a lot of his, I think Lotion has like a lot of archers, but in the ones that we're playing together, we call ourselves the Fellowship. And in the Fellowship campaign, and so in the Fellowship campaign, he's a barbarian, and Tag Loro's a paladin, which we've been giving Tag like the best armor, the best shit.
Yeah.
And not only is his paladin probably 3 times the physical size of literally all of us, like, I think we could combine all 3 of our characters and we'd be like the size of Tag's calf. Like, his character is just like physically enormous, and then has like big shit that's radiant and bright and shiny on. So it's just like, everybody knows where the fuck Tag is, that's for sure. And like, Tag usually comes busting in, and I've seen it happen already now, where as soon as he gets in, enemies become blinded by seeing him, which is insane to me.
Wow, because he's so shiny?
Because he's so bright. Yeah, he's got all this bright, radiant light coming from like his mace and his helmet and his.
It's so
all of
Dukely,
his
dude.
stuff.
The Duke.
It's just Yeah, he is definitely the Duke, and he scares the shit out of enemies, which is hilarious. And he's at the point now where enemies have to roll a 20 just to even initiate fighting him. Like everything
Jesus.
is he's untouchable. Like
Wow.
he's untouchable.
At difficult. I mean, in the second act, he's that strong already. Jeez.
Yes. Yeah, well,
Wow.
we've been kind of borderline completionist with our stuff though. Like we've done literally everything. Like we made sure that we finished everything in Act 1 that we could before we went to Act 2. And so I think that's part of it. We raid everything, we craft and build stuff. And so um I definitely think that has a lot to play with it. But yeah, we're all like level 7 going into Act 2, and Tag is pretty untouchable and he does work. Like, watched him take out like 4 dudes just in a series. So we just keep being like, yeah, Tag's got it. Yeah, he's got it.
It's so funny that you say that because I've played, like, seriously played D&D 3 times. One of the times, Tag was a fellow player, and he went with Dragonkin. It was my first time playing D&D actually, and he was a Dragonkin paladin, and he's played so much in his life. He was trying to show us that you can do anything you want, like a good like other player would. He's like, let's bust out into song in the middle of the tavern and try to get some coin that way, and like that, and then we started fighting, and he was grabbing things and like doing flame breath in their face and all this stuff, and I was like, bloop, I just shot an arrow. And I was like, how are we both level 1, bro? Like, this is so weird. He knows how to min-max, dude.
He's super good at the game. I mean, like, and Lotion's great too, but it's so much fun. It's such a blast. And I think it's so much fun playing with other people too. It's been really interesting because the one coworker I have that I've been working a lot with last week, he also has Baldur's Gate 3, but he has it on PlayStation, and we're actually at like the same spot. So it's been really awesome, like at work, just kind of nerding out about Baldur's Gate 3 because
Nice.
we're not spoiling anything and we're both experiencing stuff at the same time. And so that's been really cool and really awesome, but it's super unique because I'm playing with friends, and so there's a lot of really hilarious moments and goofy shit that isn't necessarily related to the game. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Lotion getting the -2 debuff and that turning into a hilarious thing. There was another thing where like he went to go fight somebody and didn't have enough movement and blocked the door and screwed me and Tag out of like trying to fight, and we were like, yep, see, that's that 6 intelligence, dude. So it's just like all that shit
Big
builds
dumb
and it's
rock.
hilarious. Or like little goofy things, like when we were walking through the crash, like we kept calling it the creme fraiche. So
I have
it
Baldur's
just makes
Gate.
it funny.
I have Baldur's
What?
Gate.
You own it?
No.
You own it?
not yet, everyone. But every month, well, for the whole year, me and Rianne make this budget in this giant spreadsheet. We share all our money and we try to parse everything out. So we have set.
So sexy, bro. So sexy.
It is actually. It's one
I'm
of the
sure you
sexiest things about our
just-
relationship.
Yeah.
I love the spreadsheet. I think spreadsheets are the key to getting in the sheets. Anyways, in November, we
You
are.
use spreadsheets to spread them sheets. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I don't know about that's pretty explicit. Okay. In
In
November, we have set
in
aside.
Canada, they have sex through a hole in a sheet, actually. So
I
No, I
just
highly
watched
doubt
that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode, by the way. Hilarious. Because when I was visiting these guys, was it Bobby or you? I was saying Larry, David for left, Larry and Ralph for left and right, and it was getting on everyone's nerves. And then Curb Your Enthusiasm came up, and I was like, I haven't seen. Anyways, it's fun. It's all good. A little tangential. In November, $160 has been put aside for me and Rianne to purchase Canadian dollars 2 copies of Baldur's Gate 3.
Good.
Applauses. I'm waiting, please.
Good. No, that's
No,
awesome, dude. That's
I mean,
awesome.
you
That is gonna
fucking-
be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys because it's so good, and especially as like a couples game. Like my couples campaign is really nice and fun, and it's nice. It's awesome, and so like I'm excited for you. And now I kind of feel like there's gonna need to be a crew campaign.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be fun.
I
In the
think
coldest
so.
month, November, nothing going on outside, depressing. And then we'll have Baldur's Gate, which is awesome. Yes,
It'll
Your
be
Grace.
so awesome.
That's a game I'm going to talk about.
I got one more thing. Sorry,
Oh, cool.
Bobby.
Please.
Your your Baldur's Gate thing is not. You don't have a campaign right now, huh?
No, not an active campaign right now.
Are you ashamed of
I
that?
mean, I hate to even offer, but it's like, should we try? I have the worst schedule possible, but should we try 2 hours a week?
2 hours?
Yeah,
I don't know. We could. Depends on when those 2 hours are.
I know, dude. Friday night's your night, right?
Yeah. Usually that's the best night for me.
Is 10 p.m. start time too late?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
boy, I was
both
gonna
make
say- I was gonna say
sacrifices
4
here.
a.m.
How about 9 p.m. Friday nights?
No, dude, I can't go to bed that late. I
You
wake
can't
up.
go to bed at 11?
No, I wake up at like 5 every day. Like it just happens now. Like
All right.
doesn't matter when I go to bed.
I don't know how this is going to work.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all right. I got to start a single player playthrough on that. That's how I'm really going to get to the game. That's
But it's so
honestly the-
sad.
No,
No.
it's not. I think that's.
I'm
great
the same
too.
way.
That's
I
kinda
have one too.
Well, and that's something that like I kind of wanted to bring up as well that was cool about talking to the coworker is that even though it's awesome playing with your friends and it's funny, you create these really funny moments. I'm a little envious of my coworker like playing the game for the first time and the farthest he's getting is like a solo game because the farthest I've gotten in the game has always been with people. And so my solo game is way behind. Like I'm gonna have to put in a lot of time to catch up to where I am with Lotion and Tag. And so I'm a little envious that like he gets to experience the whole game completely solo, and it's just that I think that that's beautiful, and that's a great way that you can actually learn and dive into all the story and everything. Because sometimes I'll be like distracted looting shit, and Tag is having a full on conversation with somebody, and I'm missing that conversation. You know what I mean? And so when it's just you, that's what's really nice to be able to dive in, or just with one other person. That's good too, especially if you're going together. Then that's good, but. I think solo is a great way to go.
Yeah.
All
But it's
right.
not the same, Dave. It's not the same.
I know.
Is the Baldur's Gate gauntlet over?
I think the gate's closed. You can move on to you. The gate is closed, Your Grace.
Oh. Yes, Your Grace. That's the game I played and beat this last couple weeks. Yeah, something like that. I explained how these games work, so I don't want to explain the mechanics of it too much. But really, it's like drilling down on this fact that everyone who petitions you cannot possibly save, nor do you want to save. You really have to make these options for your family. So I am being invaded by this outside force. There's been a murder at my capital, and my ally thinks I might have killed his father. Everything's a mess, so I'm trying to find clues. I'm listening to petitioners. I marry off both my daughters for other alliances because I need to build an army to defend myself against this army that's coming over. And I don't have an heir. I have 3 daughters, so I need to.
I mean, you didn't have to, dude. You could have just moved into a hovel with your daughters and lived a happy life.
You can make one of your daughters the heir.
You can't do everything in this game. If this was me in real life, 100% abandoned. I'd be like, let's go.
Right, okay.
We're fucking out. But in this shitty situation, it really makes you choose. And this pixel art and Yes, Your Grace is like basic. It's not super immersive, but the storytelling was so good. The game came out so long ago, so I think it's fine if I spoil something. But if you don't want to hear it, just skip.
Nobody's gonna play this, dude.
Basically, I've started getting clues that the person I was going to marry my daughter to for a big army was basically an abuser, like dead animals started popping up when he was in the castle, and he would just make some weird comments, and I was like, 2,000 soldiers, and I don't know for sure. Whatever, we'll do it. And halfway through the game,
you still went through with it.
Yeah. Halfway, alliances had to be made, but halfway through the game, I just get a letter saying he burned her at the stake and like tortured her and she's dead. And I'm like, oh my God, that's fucking intense. And keep in mind, this game is like pretty cutesy and pretty fun. And then it'll just fucking hit you with crazy
some realism.
Bullshit. Yeah. An example of something more lighthearted is my youngest daughter, who you can choose a bunch of nicknames for her. I chose Potato Head because I thought it was the cutest. She had a little porcupine as a pet. She loved this porcupine. Every day she'd bring it to the throne room. Everyone, look at my porcupine. Awesome. One day, she accidentally sat it on a seat, and Nobleman sat on the porcupine when he wasn't looking, and then he stabbed it and killed it. And
She's got to die.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, holy fuck. I'm like at my computer and I'm like, I can't handle it. Like my youngest daughter's crying. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And my wife, we were trying to have this son. This sorcerer always pops up. She's one of my closest advisors, this sorcerer. And she's helped me in battles. She's like conjured fog and everything. And she's like, I have this potion. You and your wife can probably have a son. So I was like, perfect. Let's do it. I gather all the ingredients. And the ritual time comes, and my wife drinks this potion, and she's allergic to something, and she dies. I'm like, oh my fucking God. It's
brutal, dude.
It's an intense game, and at the end of it, it really leaves you with the feeling, or it left me with the feeling. I'm sure there's multiple playthroughs you could do and get a different ending. It left me with the feeling of like, nothing I did was worth it. Like, I have my kingdom, like 20 people survived this brutal war. It turns out the people invading me were just running from a bigger enemy, and they would have gladly settled in like lands behind me.
Oof.
And I'm just like, fuck. And I exited out of the game and I uninstalled it. And I moved it to my complete folder, and I was just like, this was a fucking amazing time. Like a roller coaster of times. It really brought me there. And so I'm sorry I spoiled this game for you if you're still interested. Yes, Your Grace. But I think Yes, Your Grace, Snowfall, absolutely you should be looking at it if any of that sounded intriguing to you.
What a plug. Do you happen to be promoting this game for work?
No. Any game that I'm promoting for work, I'll try to make sure to say I'm not promoting this game for work. I'm promoting this game because it was fucking awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Check your Steam, Christian.
Oh, live?
Yeah, live. Where are we at now? I think we're going down to plugs. The sticker vote I already mentioned. DLgaming.net. That's where you can find all of our shit from past episodes. You're wondering, should I pick up this old game that's on sale? Just go to DLgaming.net, punch in the name of that game. Chances are somebody mentioned it at some point. You're gonna have to listen to the whole episode, but maybe you'll be entertained as a side effect.
That's a big maybe.
I'm moving over my Steam screen. Sorry, Bobby, just 1 second.
Okay.
Moving over my Steam screen because Emilio bought me a gift live, and it's Baldur's Gate, dude. Thank you so much for that. That's such an amazing
Better
gift.
adjust that spreadsheet, bro.
It's like it's so weird.
I think he's more excited about editing his spreadsheet than he is about the game.
So what does this open up? Like, what options now can we transfer? What funds can we move over to another?
Yeah,
like, can we have marshmallows this year? Like
Marshmallows.
Maybe we could set the thermometer 1 degree higher. It's thermostat. Sorry, thermostat.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that gift. That's super appreciated.
Wow. You're welcome. I want a little more out of that, but all right, cool. So I give gifts for the reaction, not for fucking
dude,
because I'm obligated to.
The worst part is I walk into ChristianCon and I have the worst gift reactions ever. All these people are like, surprise, and I'm like, cool, let's I'm just like completely like not surprised at all, but I am on the inside I had no idea. And then Rand comes up to me after and she's like, do you like it? Like, is this okay? I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. All my friends and family are here, people I never see. She's like, but you didn't I was like, oh yeah, sorry. Like it's just, anyways, apologies.
Gotta torture Emilio, because I feel like Emilio, you do look a lot to the reactions and stuff, because I even remember too, I think like when I first came over and hung out for like a UFC fight, I remember you being like, did you have fun at all? I was like, yeah, I had a blast. Like,
I want everybody to have a great time all the time.
Yes, you do.
Does,
which is why, like, Bobby's not a friend, he's a project. Like, I'm trying to excite this guy.
Oh my god.
Next time, I'm just gonna have to jerk him off next time I see him, because there's no way to get this guy to like I can't crack this shell, man.
We were just
Yeah.
talking about couple participation earlier too, before you know. there you
before the
go.
show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before the show. There you go.
This is going to be a weird DLG con.
Certainly is.
I got to pee for the first time this episode.
We got all sorts.
Oh, I'll hit the button. Sorry.
Oh, there it is. But since I have not been on Discord and I am not up to date on what's going on with the stickers. So we put that to a vote.
Yeah.
He's rolling.
Yeah.
He's rolling away.
For our listeners, Emilio, I think, is really showing off his rollerblade wheels on his chair. He just like proceeded to just whiz around before taking a whiz on his chair. So, you know, he's flying high. But the sticker thing, right now we're voting on a color palette for the new stickers. We have a new design. What was it? What was the term that Tag Loro coined about it?
A micro mouse phone.
The micro mouse phone. Yes.
Yes.
It's got a headphone, and then in the middle of it, it looks like a microphone or a mouse. There's been a debate about it, which is interesting because, yeah, Christian, I feel like you thought that it was mostly a microphone.
Yeah. I felt. Yeah.
Wait, are
I
we
feel like
looking
it's
at
mostly a
I
mouse.
thought there were ones with mice and ones with
Microphones. Yeah,
with
there were.
microphones.
But to
No?
me, like the one that we picked looks a lot like my mouse, but I've also seen microphones that look like it. So it's fun. I like it. I think it's the duality of both, right? And that's great. But right now what we're doing is until October 13th, you can go into our Discord, which you can find our Discord through dlgaming.net, and you can vote for the color palette that you like for our new stickers, which is really great. and
Okay. I'm
exciting.
looking at it now and I do see what you're talking about. It does look like both a mouse and a microphone. And this was the feedback that I gave before we went public with this. There's too many lines in the middle. I think
Too
the
many
lines
lines.
are what's adding to the confusion here.
I thought you said there's too much color. You're like, can this be white and black by chance?
No, that was my way of. I like the color, actually, the color schemes on these, but I thought in the middle, if we made the colors a little more similar, then maybe it wouldn't exaggerate the lines so much because there's like a mouse that looks like a microphone in front of a sunrise by a headset. Yeah, it's a little busy in the middle.
So as you can tell, everybody really fucking loves the design. There's no complaints whatsoever about any of it. And if you want your vote to count with that, once again, you can go to the pin channel in the Hangout and see where Nick has made a post about voting for the stickers. And if you vote, you're going to get entered in for a raffle to win $20 to Steam. So yeah. Don't vote multiple times though. All right, just one vote. One vote
One
matters.
vote.
That's it. Just
One
one vote.
vote.
You're one person, so one vote.
Unless you're a
Right.
corporation.
I'm
you
looking
can
at the
vote too.
pinned messages, and we've still got one from February of 2022 about a DLG vanilla Rust server.
Yep.
I don't think that.
Is that
Oh, it
still
did
up and running?
Let's connect to it live and find out, Bobby. Let's see.
Let's go. Let me
Let's test
install
it out.
Rust. What is that like? That game has way too much hard disk space. I don't understand. Anyway,
It's all the cocks.
That's true.
Ah,
Actually,
yes.
yeah, that's not a
Free
bad-
flying cocks takes up a lot of gigabytes.
There's so much cock in that game. Yeah.
Is there? Wait, I don't know. Are you guys being serious? There's lots of cock and Rust.
Oh,
you start out
no, yeah, I'm
naked.
being serious. When you start the game and you
It's
start
not a
nude, like
loincloth.
the genitals
No.
are procedurally generated,
Oh.
right? Like you randomly get something. You don't know what it's going to be.
Could be a
Oh,
cock or a cunt.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Seriously.
but it is full nude either way.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Time for listener questions. Oh, wait.
That's right.
Before we get to that, 62 months subscription from Recycled. Wow.
Woo!
Where's the
Hell
applause
yeah.
sound effect? Yeah. That's impressive, man.
So
That is
impressive.
impressive.
62 months. All right. We've only got a few listener questions here, but first one is from ScramTX. What is your favorite spooky or scary game franchise? And is there a game you like to go back and play each Halloween season? For me, it's Little Nightmares 1 and 2.
You stole it right out of my mouth, man. Little Nightmares is my answer as well because it's just nightmare-y and just little enough that I can handle it. Like 2D is my limit. So creepy, so cool. Christian, this is another one that you can play with your lady friend. Not co-op, but like it's a great game to just pass the controller back and forth and try over and over, kind of thing. Because the reset is so quick and it's creepy.
Well, speaking of creepy games too, Emilio, you and I, what does your Halloween weekend look like? Because we should knock out a scare-a-thon between you and I and see which one can handle playing
my
God,
the same
record
scary
it.
game.
Dude,
and
that's the
record it.
content the people want. Come on.
Yeah. No, it'd be fun to do that live and try to play.
What's objectively the scariest game? Maybe the first Outlast? Is that like the scariest, jumpiest scare? Or is it like Five Nights at Freddy's? Or...
Tell us in Discord. If you know the answer to this, tell us. Come and tell us the scariest game. And we can
let's
maybe
let
add
the
some to a
listeners
list. I
kind
feel
of
like both
determine
those.
which game.
Christian,
Yeah.
that's
Both those
really
are
good, dude. Like you were asking the community to actually, that's really good, dude.
Wow, thank you.
That was a crew question for the listener right there. Yeah, which game is the scariest game? And then Emilio and I will look at that and maybe have a scare fest off, see who can last the longest. So, spoiler, probably neither of us. Will probably be like the first 5 seconds, and we both puss out
The video.
But we'll see, and we're gonna record it. Damn it, you're gonna watch us like shit our pants. So
I feel like it has to be recording, not a live stream, because in live stream you feel a little safer.
Yeah, you do.
Don't you?
Yeah.
I do.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, if we just record it live and not look at chat or anything like that, then it could still probably be that. But I don't know. We can work it out. Work it out later. But yeah, we'll just put that thought in your head, and we can find a date that works for both of us. But
already scary.
Yeah, but for me, a scary game that I always go back to does tend to be Friday the 13th. I love that game. It's so, but I love those kind of games, and I really wish Friday the 13th still had support and like was having growth instead of running into their huge like copyright issues. And I think the developers don't like they disbanded or like it's not being taken care of anymore, and so it just exists, or it used
What's
to.
a 4v1 game, Dave?
I think it was more because like I could have sworn that there were like 6 counselors that you could be, and then one person's Jason, and like some of that was just so much fun. But they do have Texas Chainsaw Massacre that's supposed to be the same, and I've been eyeing and trying to play that, but I only want to play that as crossplay with my brother. But I have heard recently, or he said that crossplay is coming back, so maybe in the future podcast I'll be talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because those kind of games are my favorite to play Halloween season, because it is very fun and it's not too spooky, but it's a blast with the community. But the scary one is definitely going to be like Phasmophobia. I always have this itch like close to Halloween to be like, yeah, let's play Phasmophobia. And it just takes one run for me to be like, okay, good, done for the year. Like, because that game scares the shit out of me, and then I'll have nightmares for a week, and it's a whole ordeal.
Bobby's the aficionado. What is the final word, Bobby? What is the answer to your question? This question.
Well, the game that I keep going back to every Halloween is definitely Killing Floor 2, just because of their seasonal updates or their seasonal content. Christmas and Halloween, I always got to check in with that game. But I really want to play some Phasmophobia this year. The problem is I don't like playing with strangers, and
nobody else wants to play this with you.
There's a good amount of people on the Discord that play. Like we could probably get something together, but yeah, I would like to play more of this. And that game that I brought up a couple of months ago called Demonologist, it looked like a Phasmophobia ripoff, but maybe a little better graphics. That one is out, and like people are playing it. There's like 2,000 people playing it today. So I don't know. The reviews are like not super great. I don't think they're going to put as much work into it as Phasmophobia, but I don't know. Then again, like I feel like they put a lot of work into Phasmophobia, and I'm still like, this could be a lot better.
Bobby, we did not talk about Payday 3. It came out and had.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we talked about the horrible. Out. Yeah,
we did.
We talked about the terrible reviews it was getting.
I was really drunk last episode.
Oh yeah.
All right, Christian.
Mostly negative.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer to this question. Next question, Bobby.
Next question from Biblioclasm. Why haven't you tried using Chat GPT to do a one-off RPG session during the podcast?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Very specific.
On the PC Gamer podcast, they used to do this. They used to play D&D, but with Counter-Strike. And I found it terribly boring because I didn't play Counter-Strike or D&D. But I don't know. I feel like there's ways we could work in ChatGPT into the show that would be amusing, but I don't know. Maybe RPG.
Have I talked about this before? I tried to use ChatGPT at work, and it's really good for anything math-based or spreadsheets or like analytics, and just terrible at like its main thing, which is like language communication. I found, at least. Like if I asked it to summarize 3 paragraphs, it would like invent information that wasn't in the paragraphs I gave it to summarize, and I'm like, what's happening? This is so broken. But any Sheets or Excel question, or like theoretical, how could I do this on Sheets? Instantly, and like no errors. So that's my experience with ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's good for some stuff like writing code and stuff. It's very helpful for that too. But yeah, I just updated to the new version of Windows. I think it's a beta, but it's got that what is it, Copilot built in, which is like the AI assistant, and it's pretty lame. I don't know. Seems pretty useless. It's like I don't know. It's like I've been in the beta for the Google one too, and it
just feels a bit gimmicky, or like it's not living up to all the hype.
Bard?
Some of the hype.
Bard,
no,
right?
not Bard. Bard's something else. It integrates with like Google Docs, Gmail, and Google searches. So it's nice when I do a Google search, it'll like give me the AI response, which if I type in like how to do something, it'll give me like a step-by-step. That's usually pretty good. But it's that's all AI has kind of been helpful for, is just like narrowing down or cutting out the bullshit in Google searches for me.
Yeah.
For us. There are some people that are like hyper users that are cutting their workload in half.
Yeah, like surprisingly, my mom knows how to use ChatGPT way better than I ever could. I didn't tell any of you guys this. This was funny. I was concerned that we weren't going to have a solid plan for food with DLG Con, and I was like talking to my mom about it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. I want to come up with like kind of like some recipes and things because for like about 20 people or something, but I don't know. Like I've never cooked that much for that many people and stuff. And my mom's like, oh, I'll help you out. I got you. She straight up put in ChatGPT like easy, great meals for 20 people. And this is, I'm going to walk you guys through it a little bit. These are some of the things that they said. The first one is a pasta bar. So super easy, right? No, then we've got a slider station, a baked potato bar. There's taco salad bowls, a Mediterranean mezza platter. That's fun. A stir fry buffet, a pizza party, a chili bar, barbecue pulled pork sliders, and sushi rolls. Because sushi rolls are so easy. Thank you,
So easy.
ChatGPT. It's so easy. I'll make sushi rolls for 20 fucking people. All right, ChatGPT. But like,
Sushi rolls are actually pretty easy if you have the rollers and stuff. Have you guys done that, like at home?
I've made sushi, and making
My
sushi
mom
for
used to do
20
that.
people is called a job. So like, I'm good. But some of these are kind of interesting, and then it's cool because I guess the ChatGPT then broke it down like with the ingredients and the instructions and how to make it. And
I would not trust the ingredient, dude. It's gonna amalgamate like 50 different recipes, and the recipe it gives you, I can't trust it. Can't trust it for recipes. No way.
Days, you're welcome, by the way.
yes,
I showed
Thank
your
you.
mom how to use ChatGPT when she was over here.
that was
the other night.
definitely not you. No. She's been using that shit for work, like to generate descriptions and like all kinds of things. I was like, damn, I didn't know. And like that's her thing now too, is that if you're just like, I don't really know what I need to do or what I want to do. Like I was talking about how like I was trying to come up with like a list of things that I want to do around Washington, and my mom's like, yeah, let's ask AI. And I'm like, no, let's not. They're gonna probably talk about a bunch of shit in Washington, DC, which is on the other side of the country.
It's good for some things, sucks for others. We can agree on that, but
Yeah.
it's only going to get better.
There you go, Biblia.
Yeah.
We work ChatGPT. It wasn't exactly an
There you
RPG
go.
session,
Yeah.
but it was something. You know, take what you can get.
I got +2 to technology.
In intelligence.
All right. Is that all we got?
No, we've got one more question from
All right.
Biblioclasm. Who will be the first PC game designer featured as a guest on the show, and when can we expect this to happen?
We've had them in the past. At some point, we decided. I don't know if we decided or we got lazy. It wasn't that hard. We had some people on here.
Sam Barlow was on here, I thought too,
Yeah.
right? Well, Bobby interviewed him. Yeah.
First of all, wasn't that hard? Should probably, I mean, we should let the people who actually did the work, like Christian, determine if that was hard.
Yeah, it was
Because
pretty.
he did a lot of
fucking
the
hard.
legwork for that.
Yeah.
We had the people
It was
from
pretty
PC
easy
Gamer
for
far
Emilio, guys.
before Christian came over.
Oh, that's
and
true.
started
Just like
taking over.
regularly on the podcast kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a few interviews here and there. Those ones went pretty.
We haven't even really
bad.
thought about it, man. Honestly,
It's been a while.
we should though. There, especially from like single A, double A titles that try something new, like a Chicory or something like that. Like it's cool to talk to those people, and they're usually accessible.
I would love to talk to them, and I would love to talk to certain content creators that have like narrowed a niche or like a bit or something really specific so well, and like kind of excel at that, just like one specific thing. I feel like it's just interesting to talk to them about it. Someone like Controlled Pairs who like only does military, tactical military shooters. You know, I feel like that kind of conversation would be interesting. But
That would be really cool.
Or the guy who gives free haircuts to homeless people. Like he's got a story to tell, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Got lots of stories out there, and especially
right.
with ChatGPT making a lot of them.
What are we all playing next week? For me, it's definitely going to be Cyberpunk.
For me, probably,
Say it, Days. You know what it is.
yeah, you know it's Baldur's Gate 3, but I am interested in playing Planet Earth versus Humanity or Texas Chainsaw Massacre if they have the crossplay enabled. I'm still trying really hard to play a Game Pass game with my brother who is on Xbox, so it's kind of whatever we have crossplay connected through Game Pass. Trying to play something like that, but
So
for
would you
sibling
say
time.
that Baldur's Gate is your bottom bits?
My bottom bits.
Yeah, is that the game? Your main game is called the bottom bits?
That's
Anybody?
my main squeeze.
See,
See,
that's
I've
for
been working
sure.
on this in the background.
the
and
cogs
you
have
guys
I
been
felt
not.
like it got worse, dude. I would have preferred bottom bitch.
no, what bottom bit? I saw the Steam coming out. I can recognize an effort, you know.
Yikes. Okay. I feel like playing a first person shooter. I don't know. I'm probably going to check out Titanfall 2. I did buy that. I violated
Buy
my
it.
own
Why?
rule.
Play it off
No.
my account.
It was on sale for $3. Like,
All right.
what the hell,
Alright.
you know? So I know I'm a little late on that one, but I've heard it's very good.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna play, guys. I've been completing games off my backlog, and I only have 4 left. And none
How
of
about the
them are really
goddamn
caught.
game that I just bought you for fucking full price? How about that? How about a little fucking appreciation, dude?
You're coming on a little strong. Just,
Well, I have to assume that your budget, because you said you almost had enough for both. That means now you only have to buy one, which means you can play tonight.
yeah, we could. I'll talk to Rianne. We'll see. We'll see
Oh,
if it's
Jesus
Baldur's Gate.
He's got to
Right.
check his
Also,
time
too,
budget.
he's only 4 games away from completely finishing his backlog, which might not be a bad idea to finish. And then, because your life is going to be consumed by Baldur's Gate. Like,
Yeah.
my manager keeps saying that. He keeps talking about, like, I don't know if I want to get it or not. And I was like, make sure you clear your schedule, dude. Because, like, when you get it, if you start playing it, especially if you're playing it with other people, yeah, there goes your free time, dude. It's all Baldur's Gate. And it's
Yeah.
worth it, but
That's why I
gotta prepare
slated
for
it for
that.
November, where I usually don't talk to anyone. I stop walking in this awesome neighborhood, and
it's the hibernation season.
but maybe after that Canadian Thanksgiving, which is tomorrow, maybe we can start it early. We'll see. Baldur's Gate. One of those games on my backlog is BattleTech, and that's like a 50-hour. Like I'm 50 hours in, it's gonna be like 50 hours more. So that's pretty much never getting completed. So it'll never be over. I'm gonna put Baldur's Gate
never
on
is.
here just so that Emilio doesn't curse and yell at me.
Fuming.
I think we should also schedule a streaming night for Phasmophobia for at least Emilio and Amanda to play, and then probably Nick because he knows what he's doing, and then either Christian or me could jump in. But I think we need to get a little content out there. What do you think?
Halloween
down.
itself is on like a fucking like a
Doesn't have to be
Tuesday,
on
right?
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be on Halloween.
I know,
It's
but
October, dude. It's the spooky
ideal.
season. It could be.
How about ideal?
No, people got things to do. They're going to get dressed up in slutty costumes and get drunk on Halloween. They're not going to watch us.
Bobby, what was your sluttiest costume? Oh, probably a Wolverine costume, right? Because you had your shirt off.
No, so my dad was a postal worker, and I would steal his uniform, and he had these super short shorts, and I would hike him like way up, just show off those gams. Yeah.
Gams.
Oh man.
Yes. All right. Well, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Is that a podcast?
I
believe
think
it is.
so. I mean, Bobby proposed something, but yeah, we'll rein it in. Speaking for Ender, Christian, Poppy, Amanda, Chat GP Titties.
Ah,
A little
the steam's still coming out.
wordplay there. It's only been a year since the clever one.
All right.
Acceptable.